Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathashala. This is Mrs. Prema Janardhan, Vice Principal. Now we will discuss on module 23, Correctional Services and Delinquency Prevention. Learning objectives: to understand the importance of preventing delinquency, the provision under the Juvenile Act 2015, children in conflict with law, children in need of care and protection, the function of Juvenile Justice Board, rehabilitation measures under the JJ Act 2015, correctional services to prevent delinquency. Introduction. Criminologists consider the prevention of crime and delinquency as important areas of concern. Prevention efforts have the capability to both stop delinquency and reduce the magnitude of these behaviors. By doing so, prevention efforts reduce cost of crime and prevent the delinquent from evolving into an adult offender. While developing prevention programs, criminologists usually begin by assessing the causes of delinquency. These causes are generally categorized into risk factors across 5 different domains: school, family, peer, community and individual. Risk factor research typically finds that having multiple risk factors across multiple domains is a situation that is most likely to result in delinquency. Therefore, it is important for prevention efforts to take multi-pronged approach and attempt to address risk factors across different domains. There are 3 main levels of prevention: primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary prevention is aimed at the general population and seeks to address risk factors for delinquency. Similarly, secondary prevention also attempts to address risk factors but is aimed at more at risk population. Finally, tertiary prevention programs are targeted at offenders and aimed at preventing recidivism. It is the most common and to think of prevention as occurring before the onset of delinquency, but it is important to consider prevention among already delinquent population. Prevention of delinquency through correctional services falls under this category. Delinquency. Delinquency is defined by the Encyclopedia Britannica as criminal behavior, especially that carried out by a juvenile. Depending on the nation of origin, a juvenile becomes an adult anywhere between the ages of 15 to 18, although the age is sometimes lowered for murder and other serious crimes. Delinquency implies conduct that does not conform to the legal or moral standards of society. It is usually applies to only to acts that is performed by an adult would be termed criminal. It is thus distinguished from a status offense, a term applied in the United States and other national legal system to acts considered wrongful when committed by a juvenile but not when committed by an adult. In Western countries, delinquent behavior is most common in the 14 to 15 year old age group. At age 14, most delinquent conduct involves minor theft. By age 16-17, more violent and dangerous acts including assault and use of weapon become prevalent. Most delinquents do not continue this behavior into their adult life, for as the circumstances of their lives change and they get a job, marry or simply mature out of their turbulent adolescence, their conduct usually falls in line with the societal standards. Although the evidence is ambiguous, most delinquents adjust to the non-criminal life, yet the proportion of delinquents who become criminals is high, and that of the delinquent. In the United States, boys make up 80% of the delinquent population, and this is the rate is similar throughout Europe and Japan. Schools are often the forum in which delinquent behavior originates. Most delinquents perform poorly in school and are unhappy in the school environment. Many delinquents who are dropouts who leave the school at early age but have no job opportunities. Juvenile gangs often perform delinquent acts not solely out of frustration with the society but also out of the need to attain status within their group. A gang can provide the rewards a juvenile cannot get from his school or other institution. Efforts have been made to identify potential delinquents at an early age in order to provide preventive treatment. Such predictions of delinquency generally depend on not only on the child's behavior in school but also on the quality of the child's home life. There are many elements that delinquents share in their home lives. Their parents are frequently heavy drinkers who are involved in crime themselves and are unable to provide emotional or financial support for their children. Discipline is inconsistent and often relies on physical force. Most attempts to detect future delinquents have failed, however. Indeed, it has been found that the stigma of being identified as a potential delinquent often causes the child to commit delinquent acts. It is a responsibility of the state to deal with delinquent offenders. In India, once delinquents comes into the ambit of the criminal justice system, the treatment is administered by the Juvenile Justice Act 2015. One of the underlying themes of this act is to reform, or in other words, preventing recidivism in juvenile delinquents. Provisions under the Juvenile Justice Act 2015. The Juvenile Justice Act 2015 is India's comprehensive law on how child offenders are arrested, kept in custody, brought to authorities or courts, and eventually how they are reformed. It also deals with the protection of vulnerable children who have been abandoned by focusing on their life situation and adoption, etc. It ensures these processes are child friendly. The current law came into force in January 2016, repealing the Juvenile Justice Act 2000. The Act applies to all legal measures that the authorities take in relation to children in conflict with law and children in need of care and protection. Juvenile and child mean one who and the same thing under this law. The JJ Act creates two categories of children and sets up various systems to help address problems in relation to them. These are children in conflict with law. A child who is believed to have committed a crime is a child in conflict with law. For example, a child who has committed murder is a child in conflict with law. The JJ Act applies to the following: the manner in which the child is taken into custody and brought before a judge, where the child is kept after he or she has been caught by the police, manner in which the court decides to punish the child and or not, the actual punishment for the child crime the child is said to have committed, manner in which the child will be reintegrated into society. Children in need of care and protection. A child victim, that is, for example, a child laborer is a child in need of care and protection. The JJ Act applies to how the child will be taken care of and how the child will be adopted and how he or she will be reintegrated into the society. Importantly, the law believes that a child can be both a child in a conflict with law and a child needing care and protection. A child may have committed a crime as a result of her circumstances. This basic approach allows the system to fully work towards a child's benefit. The JJ Act applies to all children and continues to apply when the person crosses the age of 18 if proceedings began when the person was a child under the Act. Children in conflict with law. Normally, if a person is accused or arrested or detained in India, the regular criminal procedure under the Code of Criminal Procedure Code 1973 applies. An accused person can be kept in custody for months. The code also explains how persons would face trial to decide guilt or innocence. The JJ Act ensures that such harsh procedures do not apply to children. So far, children in conflict with law, it has created an alternative, more lenient and child-friendly setup. The setup is largely controlled by Juvenile Justice Board and ensures that children are not kept together in regular jails with regular offenders. It also ensures children are reintegrated into society after having completed the terms of their punishment. Juvenile Justice Board. The JJ Act 2015 creates different authorities for regular courts that control how children interact with the law. The Juvenile Justice Board, or the JJB, is the authority that deals with the children in conflict with law. Typically, each district in India would have a Juvenile Justice Board that would deal with affairs pertaining to that area. The JJB must have 3 members, a principal magistrate. This must be a metropolitan magistrate, judicial magistrate, first class with at least 3 years of experience, a female social worker having qualifications specified under the rules, a social worker, whether male or female, having qualifications specified under the rules. Social workers must have a track record of experience in health, education or welfare activities pertaining to children for at least 7 years or be practicing professionals with degrees in child psychology, psychiatry, sociology or law. Those having clear black marks in their record, dismissal from service or offence against children cannot be considered for positions on the JJB. If there is any difference of opinion between them, the majority view prevails. But if there is no majority, then the views of the principal magistrate take precedence. The JJB has all powers of a normal magistrate court. In addition to this, there are several functions and responsibilities that the JJB is conferred with. These are aimed towards making the proceedings least intimidating and as child friendly as possible. So, the JJB works to ensure informed consent and participation of the child and family at each stage. It has an interpreter and translator and assured legal aid for children in need. The other set of functions are aimed to ensure the protection of children. The JJB can conduct jail visits to check if children are accidentally lodged there. It must inspect the facilities for children at least once a month to check on their upkeep. Similarly, to the magistrate, the JJB can also order the lodging of an FIR for offences committed against children. The JJ Act focuses on ensuring rehabilitation of juveniles. The JJB or the Children's Court has to develop an individual's care plan and monitor its implementation. An individual care plan is an overall development plan addressing issues like health and nutrition needs, emotional and educational needs. Rehabilitation measures under the JJ Act 2015. The main principle guiding decisions of rehabilitation is restoration. The authorities under the JJ Act must try to ensure that a child is restored to the care and protection of their either her parents or guardians where it is in her best interest. If not, then the authorities must ensure that the child is restored to the care and protection of a child care institution recognized under the JJ Act, which have many services to help with the rehabilitation of children. The responsibility to care for the children does not end when they complete the age of 18 and leave the institution. The JJ Act makes it clear that children leaving the institution can be provided with financial support to help in reintegration. Childcare institutions are all the bodies which are authorized to house children under the JJ Act. These are Children's Home, set up by state governments by themselves or through voluntary or non-governmental organizations. These provide placements for children in need of care and protection of their care, treatment, education, training, development and rehabilitation. The standards and nature of services provided by such a facility is based on the individual care plan for the child. Fit facility set up by state governments. These are facilities that temporarily take the responsibility of a child for a specific purpose. Observation home. Such homes provide temporary reception care and rehabilitation of any child alleged to be in conflict with law. During the pendency of any inquiry under the JJ Act, every child alleged to be in conflict with law who is not placed under the charge of parent or guardian and is sent to an observation home is segregated according to the child's age and gender after giving due consideration to physical and mental status of the child. Open shelters. Open shelters function as a community-based facility for children in need of residential support on short-term basis with the objective of protecting them from abuse or weaning them or keeping them away from a life on the streets. Place of safety. Set up by state governments, these are separate arrangements and facilities for stay of children or persons between the ages of 16 to 18 years and accused of or convicted for committing a heinous offence. The delinquents may be housed in these places during the process of inquiry and after convicted of committing an offence. Special home. The state government may establish and maintain either by itself or through voluntary or non-governmental organization special homes for rehabilitation of those children in conflict with law who are found to have committed an offence and who are placed there by an order of the Juvenile Justice Board. Specialized Adoption Agency. The state government recognizes one or more institutions or organizations in each district as a specialized adoption agency for the rehabilitation of orphan, abandoned or surrendered children through adoption and non-institutional care. All these institutions must be registered under the JJ Act and non-registration carries penalties. Correctional services to prevent delinquency. In the USA, research has indicated that justice system approaches to preventing delinquency can be effective when they focus on providing services rather than instituting greater penalties. One promising justice system approach is wraparound service, in which comprehensive services are tailored to individual youth as opposed to trying to fit youths into predetermined or inflexible programs. Evaluations of wraparound services have shown reduction in recidivism and arrest during the year following participation. One juvenile justice system approach to preventing delinquency is the Intensive Protective Supervision Project. This intervention removes delinquent youths under the age of 16 from criminal justice institutions and provide them with proactive and extensive community supervision. This program has been shown to have greater deterrent effects on referrals to juvenile court than standard protective supervision does. Conclusion: delinquency prevention through correctional services is a tertiary level approach that is important in reducing cost of crime and preventing delinquents from evolving into adult offenders. Delinquency is criminal behavior carried out by a juvenile. In India, a juvenile who commits any criminal offence is dealt with by a special comprehensive law, the Juvenile Justice Act 2015. The Act refers to children offenders as child in conflict with law. The scope of delinquency prevention under correctional services is covered by the Act through a two-pronged approach. The scope of delinquency prevention under correctional services is covered by the Act through a two-pronged approach. The Act treats a juvenile as both as one in conflict with law as well as one who requires care and protection. It ensures that criminal justice procedures applicable to the juvenile are child-friendly and, more importantly, focuses on providing the necessary support enabling the juvenile to be reintegrated into the society and deflected away from future criminal behavior. The JJ Act facilitates this process through the Juvenile Justice Board, which develops an individual care plan for the juvenile delinquent. This plan steers the juvenile throughout the rehabilitation program. Delinquency prevention programs in the West have also found that focusing on providing services is more effective than increasing penalties on the juvenile offender. Thank you for visiting EPG Pathshala.